Donald Trump is not happy with India. Is the Trump presidency bad news for the Indian economy? Let's try to understand why. The former US president has again criticized India over very high tariffs and said that he will introduce a reciprocal tax if he becomes president in November. Remember, Trump has often called India a tariff king that imposes tremendously high tariffs on US products. Trump said, and I quote, "Perhaps the most important element of my plan to make America extraordinarily wealthy again is reciprocity. It's a word that's very important in my plan because we generally don't charge tariffs. China will charge us a 200% tariff. Brazil is a big charger. The biggest charger is India. We have a great relationship with India and especially the leader Modi. He's a great leader, but they probably charge as much. I think they probably charge more than, in many ways, China, but they do it with a smile," unquote. Trump even recalled his discussion in 2019 with Harley-Davidson representatives who expressed concerns about doing business in India due to high tariffs, which they said were as high as 150%. Trump's latest remarks comes just days after he lavished praise on Prime Minister Narendra Modi during a podcast, calling him the nicest human being. In simple words, the average tariff rate refers to a rate that the members of the World Trade Organization or WTO countries apply on each other when they don't have a trade agreement. But is India a tariff king? According to think tank GTRI, Trump's claim is unfair as many countries, including the US, protect their domestic industries by imposing high custom duties on certain products. India's average tariff rate of 17% is higher than America's, which is 3.3%, but it is similar to other major economies like South Korea, which is 13.4%, and China, which is 7.5%. However, when compared to emerging economies, India's tariffs are not that high. For instance, Brazil's average tariff rate is around 13%, and as I said, South Korea is 13.4%. The think tank also said that the US also imposes high duties on items like dairy products, which is 188%, fruits and vegetables, which is 132%, coffee, tea, cocoa and spices, which is 53%, cereals and food preparation, which is 193%, fats and oils 164%, beverages and tobacco 150%, fish and fish products 35%, minerals and metals 187%, and chemicals 56%. While India does impose high tariffs on certain items like wines and automobiles, GTRI argued that these figures do not represent the overall tariff landscape. In 2019, India increased tariffs on 28 American products in June, including almonds, walnuts and apples, as well as US steel, after America withdrew key trade privileges for India. The duty on US walnuts went up to 120%, while the duty on chickpeas and some types of lentils was raised to 70%. Not to mention, when we talk of the US, the country imposed tariffs on more than $360 billion worth of Chinese goods in its trade war with Beijing. Let's also understand the trade ties between India and the US. India mostly exports gems, pharmaceuticals, machinery, mineral fuels and vehicles to the US. Whereas apart from agricultural produce, the US exports precious metals, stones, minerals, fuels, aircraft machinery and optical and medical instruments to India.
For more news and updates, all you need to do is follow CNBC TV 18 on all of our digital platforms.